Ricky, where are we going?
We are going to visit our good friend Marco, who's been working with us for a very long time, it feels like. And he's the one that helps us make all of our really, really badass fabrics. The ones that are very successful. A lot of staples and a lot of good innovations.
Hello.
Good?
Yeah. Hello, how are you?
I'm
Yeah,
Nika.
definitely wearing shorts.
You must be Nika.
I'm Nika. Nice to
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
We didn't get to see each other last time.
No, we didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Hello everyone, good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. Here is Ricky Cruz. Here I am, baby. Welcome back to our Euro vlog, where we're excited to share with you some sensational, spectacular, and BTS of Sebastian Cruz Couture. We are gonna meet our friend and business partner, Marco, who has really created some amazing fabrics for us in conjunction with our designs, our needs, and really have created staple pieces for Sebastian Cruz Couture. He is gonna help us pick now and educate you on what makes incredible fabric quality. We are super excited to see him and collaborate on these amazing compositions. But that's not all. We're also gonna show you our shoe factory, where we will be designing our first women's shoes. Our idea is to find something that matches our personality and style in regards to our partnerships, and then the rest is just drawing and making those drawings come to life. So stay tuned, don't forget to smash that like button, and now, let's get started.
And I think I ordered the champagne Lucenteza with you already, right?
Let me think. Let me check.
Okay.
You ordered one thing lately, I don't remember what you ordered.
Okay.
Like this.
I think it's not gonna do well because it's too loud.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna put the ones that I like. Oh, I really like that one. Yeah, I really like this one. Definitely. I like how it has like depth on those.
Yeah, you have this like subtle colors.
Okay, this Viria style. I'm not a fan of this one.
So Nika, you part of the company? Are you?
I'm becoming part.
Yeah, he's gonna help us do some women's, and that's why I was, I kind of also want to see if we can have some fabrics that can do some stretching. If we can add some stretch to some fabrics.
Stretch.
Yeah, like lycra.
Yes.
You think so?
So we're super excited to take Nika to our factory visits, especially when it comes to producing, our fabrics. That's really, the science and the secret behind the experience that our customers have. So Nika, we're so happy to have you.
Yes.
You think so?
No, we do it all the time for the women's,
Yeah.
but for men's standard is way too much.
Well, this would be for the women's line.
Ah, okay.
We're trying to do a first, release of the women's line shortly. So we're looking for fabrics that have a little more give.
Okay, but what kind of is the same
It's gonna be suits,
attitude
but it's gonna be more
Sebastian
lightweight.
Cruz?
Yeah,
Same
but
It's
women's.
the same brand. Right?
yeah, the same brand, but more lightweight. Not
Or like
as
evening
stiff.
gowns, that kind of thing?
No, like suits, dresses, skirts, nothing like gowns.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Well, these are two different
This
ones.
looks a bit like one you did, I don't
Yeah,
remember which one.
the
Yeah.
rose one, right?
Yeah.
I like.
So I've gone through these already. So do you want to just lay it aside and go through the next thing, or do you want to?
You already seen these.
So Nika, you were also in Miami and moved to, or?
I still live in Miami.
Oh,
I know. As soon as I moved back, they left me.
Well, we were gonna
Yeah.
go, and then she kind of like
Surprised
"Hey,
you.
I'm coming."
I know, but I come and visit plenty.
and how do you like it, Georgia?
Yes.
The weather is better, isn't it?
So much better.
Yeah.
That's because
That's cool, that's really nice.
This one.
Yeah.
Ah, I love that
Oh,
one.
those are really nice.
It's so unique. And it
Sick.
has vertical
I love it.
qualities, but also the specs. You know what I mean?
This kind too.
I like this one better.
What do you want it? Because for the jackets, you're gonna be more.
Yeah, it's more fitted and
More
women have
fitted.
more curves, you know.
Right, right.
I feel like we also fluctuate in our weight throughout the day a little bit more too. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
Because we like it tighter, but like we
Right.
want to be able to move.
right. So this is
When
men's,
they
and
have-
we did for.
They tell me
Some
But it has
something
stripes.
is gonna call me, and
Yeah.
they don't call me.
Yeah, that's good.
Every time I call them.
Okay, what else we got? This?
I'll show you. This is
I like it. It's blue on one side and black on the other side. You could do other designs with this, right? With this kind of
engineer.
engineer. This is kind of cool, babe, like for a
I'm sorry?
This is kind of cool for a black tie suit or like
For a black tie suit, yeah, it's kind of cool.
Like every-
You can make it cool.
Yeah, you can make it cool.
Every jacket is different because depending how you cut
How
it,
you cut
you
it.
could edit it here or here or.
Right.
correct. It was like kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't
Thi-
see
I
This
like
is
the shine a lot
this
on
is
that.
how you roll.
That's a really nice one.
This
Oh,
is
you
a-
have different. Wait,
But-
go back up.
from
it changes, right?
from top
It
to
just
bottom.
shows you-
You have the jacket changing.
Yeah, like you see
That
here,
will be
it's
different.
different.
That'll
It's
be
flowers.
different.
Right.
That'll
This is
be difficult
really,
to produce.
really neat.
This one?
I would love pants like that. I mean,
Oh,
the whole
this is
suit
thick.
like that would look
It's
sick.
thick, though.
It is?
I feel it.
But I mean, this is like a denim kind of vibe. It is
That
thick.
one.
But,
Do you really like that one?
yeah, kind
No, it
of.
reminds me of like the
feel
star
like
and the
spattered
sky.
pink.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it could look a little Georgish,
Georgish.
you know, like that.
Oh, like that, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I wouldn't do that for women,
No,
maybe for
bless
men,
you.
maybe. But then
Yeah.
it just
But I
looks
understand. It's thick and
This
after
one
production. it's
turns
even
into like a
heavier.
houndstooth geometric shape, but it's
like, you
subtle.
won't even be able to see
No, no,
it.
no. That's you have to. Yeah, when you look at these things, look at them like how is it gonna look like in pictures? If they don't like it in pictures, they're not gonna buy it.
So when it comes to producing our fabrics, the hard part, or the part that we have to control ourselves with, is really understanding that since the customer is not going to touch the fabric when they make their purchase, we need to make sure that it stands out from something we actually already have in our collection. Or, you know, for example, if we're looking at multiple navy blue pieces, the designs themselves have to pop enough for us to put that into the collection. Otherwise, when customers browse, which they browse, they look at it, you know, 1 to 2 seconds. If it doesn't stand out, they're just gonna think it's a navy piece they've already seen. So that is the way I personally look at the fabrics when making our final selection. We need to make sure that they're very different from another navy blue piece or from a previous navy blue piece. Otherwise, people are just going to automatically assume they've seen it before.
I just turned it on to a second, yeah. Because Marco's gonna tell us now what makes a fabric shitty or what makes it great. This is an example. If you look at these fabrics, oh yeah, I can see it. From here, you will see the hair, almost hair follicles kind of thing, right? Those are the fibers.
Well,
You
those
see
are
them?
the fibers, yes.
That's what I mean by that.
Okay.
People see this and they think that the fabric sucks.
This one has a
Oh,
sequence
alright.
in there.
That's what I mean.
Right?
And you, like, there's a better examples that you have around here. I'm just picked the first one. So my thing is like educating. I would love to be able to educate people on the fact that this means that it's a real fabric and it's not like, you know, what is it called, synthetic, right? Is that how you would describe it?
Okay, a natural fiber.
A natural fiber.
A natural fiber shows some irregularity on the surface because it's natural and it cannot be regular. The man's-made yarn, as the word says, is made by man, so it's more consistent.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the regularity means artificial.
Artificial. Which those are the ones that don't really have the natural imperfections or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the part
which
that.
I use in surgery.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
In surgery, you don't want imperfection.
You don't want perfect. Exactly.
Like this
Right.
fabric.
So when it comes to fabrics, you have synthetic and non-synthetic fabrics. You know, in English, for the average, you know, the uneducated consumer, when it comes to fabrics, it's either fake or not fake. You know, real or not real. You know, it's kind of like authentic Ferrari or a kid car. When it comes to producing fabrics and suits in China, for example, they use a tremendous amount of machines. Everything's fully automated, so it could be perfect, right? But when it comes to producing garments that are more handmade, you're gonna have imperfections, and it's the same thing that happens when you use, you know, high quality, you know, to make it in English, high quality fabrics. They're going to have imperfections. They're going to have those little hairs that some customers that are not used to buying luxury garments might think that it's just coming apart, and it's not coming apart. So this is why I asked Marco to explain that a little bit further in detail and kind of like show it to you when it comes to fabrics, so you could see it from an expert, from somebody that creates fabrics for the biggest brands in the world, because a lot of the American consumers don't really know. A lot of the people that find Sebastian Cruz Couture, unless they come from like a Dolce & Gabbana or a Tom Ford world, they're not used to this type of product. And so they come used to a Hugo Boss or a Men's Warehouse product that's pretty much all machine made with no imperfections, synthetic fabrics. You know, it's you can't compare it. So you might pick up a garment, it might feel heavy, whereas a nice luxury garment is not supposed to really feel heavy. It's supposed to have a lightweight canvas, and it's supposed to mold to your body and fit better the way you wear it. So my intention with this kind of like interview or back and forth with Marco was to provide value to you and to educate you a little bit more when it comes to the compositions of what to expect when you purchase Sebastian Cruz Couture. What else would you say that people should look at to determine if the fabric, like just by looking at it is one thing, but by feeling it, what else would you be looking at to determine if a fabric is good or not?
Well, the softness.
The softness?
Is.
So if it's softer, if it weighs less, it's more expensive or what?
There are some artificial fibers that look soft, but it's not quite as the wool. I mean,
Yeah.
what makes the fabric beautiful is, just the touch, just the light that comes from it.
The reflection that
the richness that.
the depth.
The depth of the fabric and so on. But, I mean, we for example, Dutel is a good example. You can do nice things, not necessarily just with natural fibers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to do a nice fabric with 100% cashmere that costs you $500 per meter.
Yeah.
And we try to reach certain output with $20 per meter.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Usually, polyester is associated with cheap.
Polyester is considered cheap.
It's considered cheap, but
But
there are
why
many kinds of polyester.
Why sometimes do you need polyester in a fabric?
Well, it gives more stability.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't shrink. It doesn't. So a percentage of polyester gives more stability and duration to the fabric.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas natural fabrics are more delicate. They don't last quite as long.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
That's
another point too. Some people think that because the product is expensive or the fabric is expensive, it should last forever.
No, most of the time it's more delicate.
Yeah.
So it's not meant to be worn all the time.
Right.
So for example, we have a good friend of ours that works with us. His name is George. He's a professional dancer. And he's like, hey, I just want to give some feedback. When I'm dancing, 20 times, some pieces might be coming apart. So you should probably do this, this, and this. And Natasha's like, we're not making clothes for dancers. That's not what we do. And that proves your point. Like if you're creating nice fabrics to wear for events, it's supposed to be.
Nike is more in the principles of doing things for dancers.
Exactly.
This is not Nike.
This is not exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. And that's also the problem when you have customers that are not used to buying luxury suits or fabrics, and then they go buy one and it doesn't meet their expectation because they're so used to the cheaper volume stuff that when they see something like this, they don't really get it, you know? And it's that too. And they wear it 3 or 4 times and then all of a sudden it looks a little different, you know? Yeah. So that's we get that feedback sometimes from people, and it's just lack of education. And then imagine, how do you respond to a customer like that? You're like, you know what? It's lack of education. You can't tell them that they're not educated.
Because after 3 or 4 times, they feel like he's falling apart, or he's starting.
No. So we have customers, for example, with a lino piece, and this happens when you have your pants here, because obviously you sweat around here and you rub. It creates into little balls of fabric,
right.
And it feels like lint, and you go like this and it comes out. People think the product sucks and it's cheap, and that's not the case. That's not the case.
Acrylic does it. Acrylic in particular does it. Doesn't it really?
For example, no, that could do it.
It's not really clear.
You don't think that, and it does. That one turns a little bit into
right.
Any tweed that we have
Right.
does that, and it's not the manufacturing because it's the fabric on the outside. That's feedback that we've gotten from me too, that I've beta tested this thing for a long time before we even put it on the site. So I've noticed that, but I go back to what Ferrari told me a long time. They're like, hey, what do you want? It's handmade. You know, when something's not perfect, something's not even. So I go back to the whole synthetic and natural fibers and things like that. I go back to that. Because somebody did tell me one time, they're like, oh, you know why it has those little follicles of hair coming out of it? It's because it's a natural fiber. It's a natural fiber. That's why. If you want fake shit with no imperfections and it feels like plastic, then that's a cheap shit. You know, so that's what I've learned throughout time.
For example, silk, when we used to do a lot of silk, you cannot supply a plain silk.
Yeah.
It will never be plain. It will always be showing some light and dark and all.
Exactly.
And
if it's real
if
silk.
the customer understands it, fine.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just forget about silk.
Yeah.
Polyester will be perfect. But
Exactly. And that's if it's real silk.
Yes, I can show you.
Yeah.
But that's with anything. Even with a t-shirt.
That's silk. But how is
The
this?
black is acetate. The silk, the gray is the silk. Okay. Now in the silk, we had complained. This goes back a long time ago. We had complaints like this is unacceptable. This is faulty. This is this and that.
Yeah,
This is silk.
customers would-
If you want a silk, that's a silk. There's no.
Imagine how you respond to a customer. You're like, well, you want to send it back? No, you want it silk. There you go. Take the imperfection.
The shady, light and dark.
Yeah.
If you do some polyester, it would be like the table. Perfect.
Yeah. Exactly.
One solid color.
Yeah.
That's the story. It's very easy, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I see the lines that you're saying.
And the wool would be the same. Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And when it comes to touching on silk, a lot of people don't understand. Silk is produced in China, and it just goes back to Italy. It could be finished in Italy, or it could be then combined with other compositions. So that was the purpose of bringing up the silk, as well as the imperfections of authentic silk, imperfections of authentic fabrics. They will have imperfections. And so we do the best we can to work with those imperfections and create a design around it instead of having so much waste of fabric. And that also touches on the whole organic part, right? Wastefulness, because you know that's just a whole nother topic, but we're mindful of those things as well. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. We're right now gonna go get our car so we can swap the tire out, I hope. And in the meantime, we are walking through this thing, which I didn't even know that this thing, flea market thing, was around during the week on a Tuesday. Look at this shit. Wow, raws everything.
shoe factory.
The shoe factory.
We're about to knock one off though. We're all pretty
We are. Yeah.
pretty tired.
Zombie. A little zombie.
Little zombie, yeah. Oh, update on the rent-a-car situation.
Oh.
We are now in a temporary rent-a-car. A Peugeot.
Yep.
Yep. They used to have these in Iran. So we need to drive this around. We're gonna go to this one meeting, then we're gonna drive all the way back to the airport in Milan and get another more suitable vehicle for us. So at least we have this little loaner. But we will speak to you guys once we get in the factory.